What up, y'all? DB here. Warhammer 40k, Magic the Gathering. Two things that I like a lot, mixed up together. I bought all 4 of these commander decks that they came out with. And I figured I'd open them for y'all. Because I got to sleeve them so I could play with them. But I figured I'd show them to y'all first. And guess what? Today you get the Tyranids. Or is it Tyrannids? Who knows? The Shadow? I don't know. But anyway, I rolled a D4. And because that's how I like to decide all of life's great decisions, with a die roll. And boom, Tyranids. So let's open it up. Let's murder this box. Let's see what we got. Oh, hivemind. We got some tokens. Got some stuff. Pretty crazy. What's going on here? How do we get this shit out without mauling everything? Oh, I think it's right here. This is a lot of packaging, y'all. Life wheel. We got a box. We got all kinds of stuff. This is actually pretty cool. Little token, dude. Huh. Tyranids probably aren't my most favorite. It's gonna be a shitty video, right? It's like a minute and a half in and I ain't even got the shit open. These commander decks are insane to me. The fact that they all have 40-some new cards. It's kind of nutty. So let's just take some off the top here. Swarm Lord, he's one of your commanders, y'all. 5/5. Hive Tyrant is what he's supposed to be, y'all. Whenever a creature dies, you control with a counter on it, draw a card. Swarm Lord enters the battlefield with 2/1/1 counters on it for each time you've cast him from your command zone. Yeah, pretty nutty. The art on these cards is insane. I love them. There's some really, really good ones. Magus Lucic Kane, Human Tyranid Wizard, Spiritual Leader. 1/1 counter on a target creature. Yeah. Tricolor deck too, right? That's pretty nutty. Gene Stealer Locust, Tyranid Human. Whenever a creature attacks you, the Neural Trauma Rod. 3/3. Pretty rubbish, but whatever. Oh, dude. Gene Stealer Hybrid with a mining saw. So cool. Heavy Rock Cutter. When he attacks, destroy 1 target artifact. Its controller draws a card. Dude. So cool. I remember when these miniatures came out, and I was like, that is pretty badass. Gene Stealer. Aberrant. Gene Stealer Aberrant. Ravenous, and enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it. If X is 5 or more, draw a card. Trample. Heavy Hammer. Heavy Power Hammer. Power Hammer. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Oh, man. He's pretty nasty. Pretty nasty. Oh, Pure Strain Gene Stealer. I feel like they could have chose a very much better artwork than that. Yeah. You remove a 1/1 counter for it to search from lands. That's actually pretty good. Tyranid Invasion. Create a number of 3/3 green Tyranid warrior tokens with trample equal to the number of opponents you have. Multiplayer game. Dude, I played a game one time with all my buddies. There were like 8 of us. That card would be insane. Trigon Prime. He's a Tyranid. Subterranean Assault. Whenever he attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it and a 1/1 counter on one other target creature. That creature can't be blocked this turn. Yeah, so you see, this deck is all about counters, putting counters on shit, and then murdering them. Flying Death Touch Hexproof. Insane. For 3 mana, yo. Flying Death Touch Hexproof. Fuck. Venom Throat. Goliath Truck. I'm sorry, this kind of doesn't really fit the theme of the Tyranids, even though I know it's a Gene Stealer mining cult thing, but I feel like it's shoehorning a vehicle. So, I mean, the model is awesome. If you play Warhammer, y'all. Dig the model. Aetherize. We know that one. New artwork, though. Don't really care for it. Xenothropes in there. Inspiring Call. Draw a card for each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it. Those creatures gain indestructible. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Bred for the hunt. Oh, check this Catachan out with a flamer. Lictor's gonna eat him. Looks like we found the source. Torch it quick before anything crawls out. Sergeant Ripper Jackson. Is it Action Jackson? Who knows? Whenever a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. Hey, Hull Breach. We know this guy. Tyranid ships are eating you. Fucking Spelljammer looking things, right? Herald's Horn. We know what this does. Big Vox Caster. The artwork's pretty dope. Soul Ring. I was pleased that they added like all this new art for even the non-new, like cards that aren't new but are in here. How they have very 40k specific art. I dig that. Ash Barrens, basic land cycling. Frontier Bivouac. I like that. It's like an old AdMech counter. Or not counter, container. Like a shipping container thing. Unclaimed territory. Sandworm penis looking things. Yeah. Cultivate. Explore. Flying horseshoe crabs. Horseshoe crabs in space. Yes. Farseek. Search your library. Harrow. New Horizons. Overgrowth. Rampant growth is the spore mines. Take it. Arcane Signet. Nah. That shit looks more chaosy to me. Although, no, he's turning into a Tyranid there. So, yeah. Alright. Cave of Temptation. Add 1 mana of any color. Sacrifice the cave to put counters on a creature. Cave of Temptation. Command Tower. Evolving Wilds. Gene Stealer Patriarch. Whenever he attacks, put an infect counter on target creature defending player controls. Whenever a creature with an infect counter on it dies, you create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a Tyranid in addition. That's pretty insane. Dude, I don't know, man. Like, these decks are pretty nutty. I'm glad I pre-ordered them as soon as I heard about them from my local. And I paid a little bit more than I normally would like to for something like this. I got no problem telling you guys that they were, I think it was like $210 for all 4. But then I had to pay sales tax on them, because it was just up the street. But then when I look at the price on them, at least this one was listed as $69.99. But when I went to pick them up, I heard that they didn't have any more. They were out of stock. And my LGS is like a fucking WPN or one of those fancy stores, It's been on Wizards of the Coast. Exocrine. He's got the big venom cannon on his back, Splashing on him. Bioplasma Barrage. When the Exocrine enters the battlefield, it deals X damage. It's nutty. I'm really honestly thinking I might leave all 4 of these decks the way they are. The Red Terror. And then just only use them against one another. But we'll see. I got to see how they play. They're so dope, though. And I thought, part of me was like, oh, this is going to suck. I'm going to hate it. But, they absolutely knocked it out of the park with this shit. The Red Terror. The Orc Secret Lair's whack, though. I will say that. Whenever red source you control deals damage to 1 or more permanents and or players, put a 1/1 counter on the Red Terror. Red Terror was dope when I introduced him. He was back in like I think 3rd or no, he was Rhino Rush. Was that 3rd edition? The Red Terror might have been. Yeah. Screamer Killer. I call him Carnifexes. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 5 or great, deals 5 damage to any target. That's pretty insane, right? Just gonna be throwing 5 dice bombs on people. Biophagus. Add 1 mana mango. He's alright. Bone Sabers. Whenever it attacks, put 4/1/1 counters on it. That's insane. Broodlord. When he enters the battlefield, distribute X11 counters among, I mean, all this shit. Oh, man, this is, like, going to be so counter-heavy. That's the one. Clamavus, Proclamator Hailer, the Starborn Approach. That art's dope. The Gene Stealer cultists were very well done in their recent update in the Games Workshop range, y'all. From the days of the Gene Stealer cult limo. That's what the vehicle should have been in here. Fuck that Goliath truck. Should have been a Gene Stealer limo. For those that know, this thing is insane. The horror specs. Bio Titan. This thing's nutty. I was looking at this the other day online. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may remove any number of 1/1 counters, and each counter basically counts as 2 colorless mana. This thing has Vigilance, Reach, and Ward 2. And can't be blocked by Peach. It's fucking nutty, dude. So even though it doesn't have trample, you gotta block it with big stuff. Hormigant Horde. Endless Swarm. I'm sorry about the glare, y'all. I got a new table down here in the smoke dungeon. Lictor. Pheromone Trail. Y'all pheromones. How delicious. When the Lictor enters the battlefield, if a creature entered the battlefield under an opponent's control this turn, also create a 3/3 green Tyranid warrior with trample. Nexios. Strategic Coordinator. Basic lands you control have tapped to add 2 colorless. Spend this mana only on stuff that contains X. See, like, I'd put this dude in my Hydra deck, but, like, I really won't, because, like, he's a fucking Gene Stealer with a Hololith, dude. Old One Eye, and I'm not talking about a deck. Trample. Other creatures you control have trample. That's pretty sick. When Old One Eye enters the battlefield, create a green Tyranid token. The beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you discard 2 cards. If you do, return Old One. Oh yeah, he's pretty insane, y'all. He is insane. Spore Cyst, Ravenous, lots of Ravenous. Tyranid Swarm, Death Frenzy. When the swarm dies, create a number of 1/1 green Tyranid. Oh man, that's nuts. So even when it dies, you're creating more of them. Termagant. Spawn Termagant. It's whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create the... Ah, man. This deck is fucking insane. Toxicrene. Reach and Death Touch. All lands have add 1 mana of any color and lose all other abilities. That artwork is dope. He's like smashing that fucking Land Raider Crusader or whatever that is. Dig it. Tyrant Guard, Shield Wall. These guys, I always, like, in theory, thought these guys were cool, that, like, they were, like, made from Space Marine DNA, that the Tyranids gobbled up. But, like, the models for them always kind of suck, dude. I want them to be better. Sacrifice Guard, creatures you control with counters on them game. Yeah, hexproof and indestructible. Crazy. Oh, Talon Jackals. I actually bought a box of these not too long ago. They're sitting on the shelf over there in the dungeon because I was like, fucking dudes on dirt bikes. I gotta finally buy these guys. I owe it to myself. You know what I'm saying? 2/2, Trample Haste, Skilled Outrider. When he deals combat damage, throw them basic lands into play tap. Death Leaper, the Terror Weapon. Flash, Haste, Flesh Hooks. Creatures you control that entered the battlefield this turn have double strike. This dude is fucking nuts, if you think about it. The first Tyranid War. I remember the first war. I stood with my brothers. I was listening to a little Jedi Mind Tricks the other day. It was fucking dope. That's what that reminds me of. First Tyranid War. Dig it. Yep. Gargoyle Flock. Look at that art, dude. Pretty cool. Nighttime Gargoyle Attack. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature entered the battlefield under your control this turn, create a 1/1 blue Tyranid Gargoyle. Oh, okay. Kellermorph, 3 Pistol Man. Love his model, y'all. Absolutely love his model. He's like nutty in the game, though, right? 3 auto stubs. Whenever another source you control deals exactly 1 damage to a permanent or player, Kellermorph deals 2. So all those 1/1 tokens, that'll be nasty. The Malinthrope, that artwork is sick. Scavenge the Dead. Put a 1/1 creature on for each card next. So he's okay. He's okay. The Moloch. Terror from the Deep. When he enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature. That creature would die exile instead. A Ravener. I mean, they're touching most of the bases right here for the 40k, yo. For the Tyranid. Shadow in the Wall. The first creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less. It's pretty nutty. Non-creature spell, it's dealing 2 damage to people. The Harridan. The Harridan. Shrieking Gargoyles. He's creating more of those blue gargoyle tokens. Tyranid Prime. Synapse creature. Other creatures you control have evolved. Ugh. The Winged Hive Tyrant, y'all. Shit. With the Venom Cannon. These dudes must remember 2003. They were like, we're doing this shit. Other creatures you control with counters on them have flying and haste. Holy crap. This deck is going to be insane, y'all. Zoanthrope. It's actually a cool artwork for a Zoanthrope. I dig it. Warp Blast. When he's entering the battlefield, he's dealing X, which is his Ravenous. Starstorm. It's going to be a long video, yo. Sorry. I love some Magic, and I love some 40k artwork. Abundance. Death's Presence. Dude getting eaten by all the Tyranids, putting his hand up. Yeah, it's a Tyranid hand. The Gene Stealer cults rejoiced at the arrival of their gods at first. That's right. Hardened Scales reprint, y'all. How about that? Whoa. Icon of Ancestry. Cinderglade. Am I in the lands here? Exotic Orchard. That art's kind of shit, dude. I don't like that. A bunch of diseased buttholes. Game Trail. Uh-oh. Ultramarine shit. It appears Old One Eye is on the hunt. Marnus Calgar. Dope. Temple of Abandon. Temple of Epiphany. Temple of Mystery. That one's pretty cool looking. The Opal Palace. The Opal Palace. So far, man, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I like it. I like it a lot. Path of Ancestry. It's pretty cool. It's not really Gene Stealery. It's still very dope. I wonder if the Imperial one looks like that. Rugged Highlands. Fortress. It's very Hoth and Ion Cannon looking. Defense laser emplacements. Interesting that they would use that. Not very 40k looking there, but still dope. That's some old school art looking shit there, yo. Look at that. Some Wayne England-esque. Thornwood Falls. Taking a bath. I'm taking a bath. I'm a Tyranid taking a bath. Mountains. Spore Mountains. Spore Islands. Forests. Cardboard Swarmlord guy. Tyranid tokens. These are probably double-sided though, right? Gargoyles. Yeah. Tyranid 5533. Oh, that's a good one, dude. Very well done. Very well done. I'm going to sleeve this bad boy up so it can battle. And I'm going to roll the D4 again. And then I'm going to hit you with another video of some Universes Beyond Warhammer, Magic, Commander decks. Dope shit. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? All right. Everybody, be good to one another. Do what you feel.